Okay. Hey everyone. This is take two of creating this video for you. I actually did it once already. And when I went back to do the edits, funny enough, funny, not funny, actually, it was horrible. I had the worst sound quality using my camera. So I'm trying it a little bit different right now to get the information out to you because it's really important. But let's go ahead and jump into today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you these four things that I started doing to actually get my weight loss going when I first started my weight loss journey. Starting a weight loss plan can be a really daunting task if you don't know where to start. And I've put together these top four tips that I started implementing that you can also start implementing today that are really just small changes that are going to help you get the big results that you're looking for in your weight loss journey. And these were really helpful for me. I know that they're going to be helpful for you as well. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. When I first started my weight loss journey a couple of years ago, I struggled really just feeling so overwhelmed at the idea of even starting. I had this big goal out in front of me, and I didn't even know the first steps that I needed to take. I was starting my weight loss journey without any real direction for how to get to the final destination that I was looking for. And I had been so bombarded with like the diet culture messaging. I was just kind of numb to it. And I don't know, like every day I felt like I was getting information or an ad for some new diet plan or some miracle fat loss solution. And I was just really over it. I mean, honestly, so over it. I was so tired of dealing with all the messaging that I was getting. It was confusing, overwhelming, and it honestly caused analysis paralysis in my life where I just didn't even want to start because I really didn't know what the right answer was. What I did know was that I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to do it in a way that was sustainable because I had not been able to do it in a way that was sustainable prior in all of my other attempts to lose weight. And to do it sustainably, I knew that I had to turn off all that noise, all of those flashing lights saying, like, see me, notice me, look at me, buy me, try this diet plan and all that stuff. I had to get back to the basics of what I knew about true health. And I started with these four simple things and I laid a foundation out of those to build on. And listen, ladies, we have to look at our weight loss journey like we're building a house. Okay. If you've already started building your house and maybe you took shortcuts in laying the foundation, or you forgot to put in some of the really important support beams, or I don't know, maybe you ran your plumbing in the wrong direction, like that's a big deal. You're going to need to go back and start over so that you can build correctly. And that is just for your weight loss, right? So you're going to have to build with a solid foundation and the support that you need to keep building on, this time with no shortcuts. And I knew that my build was shaky from the very beginning. I knew that I had taken all the shortcuts. So I had to go back to square one and say, no more, no more shortcuts. I can't do it the way that I've been doing it because the way that I've been doing it hasn't actually gotten me the results that I want. So I need something different. And so I had to go through demolition day first and like tear down all of the things that I had done wrong. And that's a process and it takes time. But these are the first four really simple things that I started implementing into my build, my solid foundation that helped me get results pretty quickly. And listen, I'm not saying that this is easy. Okay. It's not easy to start doing something new or start doing something that maybe you've done before and haven't done well and you have a little nerves about doing it. But they are simple. Changing habits takes consistency no matter what habit it is you're trying to change or like implement into your life. It's not going to be possible unless it's done in small bite-sized pieces. So I want you to stay tuned for next week's episode where I'm going to be sharing ways that you can stay consistent on your diet and in creating like habits that stick around. But for now, I just want to jump into these four things that you can start doing today to lose weight. And before we do that real quick, I just want to give you this little, I don't know, this little extra. Okay. This is just a little extra. Weight loss is such a mental game too. It really is because we look for that number on the scale to go down. And if it isn't moving, we can feel really discouraged and we tend to tap out way too quickly. I realize now that non scale victories are much more important. But when I first started, I really needed to see some results on the scale because it just gave me confidence that I needed for my very next change. And that's why I wanted to share these tips with you because they were helpful for me to get that scale moving. And they're also very sustainable habits that once you create, you're going to be able to stick with them. So remember, the most important thing about weight loss is the way you lose weight is the way that you're going to have to maintain it. So if you can't keep doing what you're doing to lose the weight, the results are not going to stick around. So, all right, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the number one thing that you can do to start losing weight right now. And please, before you roll your eyes at me after I say this, just listen in, okay? The number one thing is increase your water intake. Okay. Like I said, don't roll your eyes at me. I know this is really simple, but just hear me out. Hear me out. It's honestly the number one thing that I hear that my clients struggle with the most. And it's the most overlooked part of a healthy lifestyle. And it's just because we don't really feel thirsty or we're too busy to remember to drink water, or we just drink other things instead. But the number one reason, really, that people don't make water a big deal is because they don't feel thirsty, even though there are people that say, I just don't like water. We're going to get to that in a second. But tip number one, I do feel like is a no brainer, but it was a super big struggle for me. It was such a struggle for me to drink more water when I first started because I was chronically dehydrated. So I was never really thirsty. And that cue that we have to drink water was silenced so often that my body just stopped signaling the need for water as often. And so I never drank enough water. I really struggled with creating that habit at first. And what I found that helped me is just getting a water bottle that's about 30 ounces. My current tumbler is about 32 ounces. I have a couple different ones that are the exact same color and size just because they were on sale. So, hey, why not? But 30 ounces is a really good like water bottle size that you can carry around with you. It doesn't feel like you're carrying a gallon around with you unless that's, hey, really just what you want to do, go for it. But I knew that I was not going to take water everywhere with me that I went if it wasn't reasonable because I already have kids. I have a diaper bag. I have purses, like I have babies. I have things that I need to make sure that I'm carrying around too. And if it wasn't going to be reasonable for me, I wasn't not going to do it. If it's not easy, you're typically not going to do it. It's just the truth. Okay. So I found a really cute water bottle, about 30 ounces. So it was just something that I could do quick math on also and determine how many bottles of water I needed to drink in a day. And I figured the less amount of going and filling up the bottle that was necessary for me, the more apt I was to actually drink it. So if I had a smaller water bottle, I was going to have to go fill that thing back up more frequently, and I would be way more likely to just not go back and do it. So I just got this water bottle this size so that I could do quick math. And I knew that after I was done doing the math, I knew exactly how many I was going to be needing to fill up. So, when you're trying to lose weight and stay hydrated, it's really recommended that you drink half your body weight in ounces a day of water. So, again, my water cup being 32 ounces, I just kind of rounded it down to 30 to do quick math, that way, so that I know for my body, I need two of those a day. But for good measure, I just set my goal to be three. So I drink 3 full cups of water before 8 o'clock at night. And the reason for that is because I don't want to be up late at night trying to drink a bunch of water because I forgot throughout the day and I'm chugging it. I feel miserable, bloated, not good. And I'm up throughout the night trying to go to the bathroom because honestly, I would like to sleep, right? Like I want to sleep. I already don't get the best quality sleep that I've ever gotten right now in my life. So definitely water throughout the day helps. Try not to cram it all in at once. All right. So, with this water thing, the first thing you need to do, step number one, is go weigh yourself. And I know this can be scary. Believe me, I do, but just jump on the scale because you're going to need to know how much you weigh so you can calculate, how much water you need to be drinking in a day for weight loss. So, make it easy on yourself and just get a water bottle that you can fit in your car's cup holder and make sure that you never leave home without it. That's a really great way to make sure you're getting in your water. And I never leave home without three things: my cell phone, my purse, and my water cup. And my daughter will even stop me and be like, Mom, do you have your water? Mom, do you have your purse? Mom, do you have your phone? Those are the three things she knows I'm never going to leave home without. And even if I do leave home, I will turn around straight around and get them because I know I'm going to be miserable without my water. And if you are somebody that is just not really big on the taste of water, you can find a way to spruce it up. Really, you can add like cold infusion tea bags. Like I love to use hibiscus tea or squeeze some lemon, put some fruit in it, make some lemonade. You can also drink seltzer water as a way to get in your water count, to up your water intake. I mean, and it counts as part of the water intake for the day. I wouldn't drink, gobs of it a day, but just think outside the box, right? And something a little warning I would just give you too is to be careful not to add artificial sweeteners to your water, like think Crystal Light packets, and then stay away from those. So this little bitty change can make such a huge difference in your body because when you're chronically dehydrated and you're not getting enough water continuously for long enough, the water that you are drinking is just going to your body's vital organs to do like the things it has to do. Your body's basic maintenance and function. Okay. So we are actually 70% water, which is crazy to me. When I first read that fact, I did not even know that. And it just blew my mind. When you're not getting enough to just maintain your basic function, other areas that are not deemed as important by your body are going to suffer. So, for instance, your metabolism will start to slow down. Maybe other areas of your body is going to suffer, like cartilage in your joints, the vertebrae in your back, because your discs aren't properly hydrated. Your memory, your skin, your hair, your nails, all those things are going to suffer when your body is chronically dehydrated and not getting enough water on a regular basis. So, drink more water. That's a really simple step that you can take towards better health, like all around. Okay. Water helps with flushing out toxins in your body as well as excess fat. And drinking water actually increases your energy level and helps increase your mood levels too. So, try it, test it out, see what you guys think. It's really cool, all the benefits of just drinking water, truly. And a little disclaimer here: if you have not been drinking enough water and you know it, okay, the first few days, you're probably going to feel a little bloated. You're probably going to feel like, wow, this is a lot of water and I'm so full. I can't possibly drink any more water. But I just want to encourage you to push past that, okay? Just push past it. And remember, don't try to cram it all in at one time. And just the last little tiny reason why I think water is the number one thing you should start working on is if you're like me and you have developed over time this hand to mouth habit where you feel the need to be putting something to your lips a lot. Drinking water helps me with that, especially water with a straw. And that is because I am a former smoker. I'm so thankful to be delivered from that addiction years and years ago, but I did develop this habit where I felt the need to put something to my lips a lot. And when it wasn't cigarettes, it was food. After I just exchanged one for the other. And so now I've exchanged one for the other again, but it's water. So it's a way better like habit to have. I still have the hand to mouth habit, but it helps a ton. Just keeps my hands busy and makes me feel like I'm actually, doing something that I'm used to doing. I guess it's a habit, right? Like that's the thing. So it helps with that. And it also helps to make me full. So I'm not eating like as much at mealtime. So just make sure that you're drinking enough water. It's going to help you a ton. But let's move on to tip number two. Okay, tip number two is just as simplistic as tip number one. It's eat more veggies. I know you've been told this your whole life. Like your mom has probably told you when you were a kid, you have to eat more vegetables, eat your veggies. We've all heard it, but it's true. When you fill up on the right things, you are so much less likely to eat as much of the things that don't benefit your body. And in the diet and nutrition world, they really teach that you should be eating 80/20. And they call it 80/20 because 80% of the food that you're eating should be healthy, whole foods, nutritious foods, and 20% can be like your unhealthier options. Here's the way I look at the 80/20 rule. I want to make the best choices for my body as often as possible. And there's times when the healthiest option available to me isn't healthy at all. It's not. And it's not even lending to my weight loss efforts. And sometimes I just make poor choices on purpose. And I just let it go, though. I just let it go. Okay. I let it go and I purpose to eat the best options that I have available to me at the very next eating opportunity versus throwing the whole day out. Okay. So, something I struggled with for a really long time was overeating. And if I'm being honest, really, if I'm being honest, sometimes I still overeat. Like I still struggle with that. But now I overeat the right kinds of foods. So it's really difficult to gain weight overeating veggies. So I do still eat a lot, probably a lot more than what I need. And that has hindered my progress, like being a little slower too. And that's just a mindset shift that I'm still working on within myself. It takes time and I am giving myself grace, which is what I teach you as well. But yeah, so I've coached clients who've told me that they don't like vegetables. And I get it. Believe me, I get it because there was not a whole lot of vegetables that I thought I liked either. I did not because I had just eaten like the same ones over and over again and I hadn't really branched out. So I knew if I was going to eat more veggies, I was going to have to do it differently. So I found out how to season my vegetables. I started branching out and trying new recipes. I was looking up things on Pinterest, like how to, cook vegetables, how to saute them or roast them or just do them in really different ways. And I ended up finding out that I like vegetables a whole lot more than I ever imagined that I would. And so I'm really enjoying that part of my healthy eating habits that I've created for myself and that I help others create along the way as well. But some ways that you can get in more veggies is to just cut out snacking on other things and choose veggies first. And then if you still want to snack, okay, on other stuff, by all means, then go for it. But start with vegetables first. So for me, I love carrots and hummus or like sugar snap peas and hummus as a quick snack. I also started doing something like carrying little Ziploc bags of veggies in my purse so I could just keep them with me everywhere I went. And that helped me to get in more servings too and kept me from feeling the need to stop and like grab a candy bar from the gas station. So it may help you also. To help you get in more veggies, you need to decide how many servings of vegetables you'd like to get in your day more than you're currently getting. So if you don't eat any vegetables right now, then getting in one serving a day is more than you're currently getting, right? That's great. But I want you to choose where you want to go with this long term too, when you're thinking about how much vegetables, like, do I really want to be eating? So for me, I wanted to eat 4 to 7 servings a day. And at first, I really wasn't probably even eating half a cup a day. So that was a big order to fill. Okay. And I knew that if I was going to get to that 4 servings a day, I had to start so basic, y'all. I'm not even kidding. So basic. I just took 1 cup servings of baby carrots and I put them in like little Ziploc bags that I had in the refrigerator ready to go so that I didn't have to think about it. I could just run to the refrigerator, grab the Ziploc bag out and eat my vegetables. I did not even have to have the excuse that I didn't want to have to get vegetables out of the packages that they came in. I know it's so silly, but it worked. It worked for me, and that's what I did. So, anyways, now I do other veggies too, not just baby carrots, but having them prepped helps a ton when you're first starting to get into that habit because, again, it just makes it easy for you. And easy tends to help you create the habit. Something else I also did was started by making half of my plate vegetables first. Like I would fill up half my plate with veggies first, and then I would add any other foods that I was going to be having with whatever meal it was after I filled up half my plate with veggies. And it didn't matter what veggies it was. I wasn't caught up or hung up on what kind of, carby veggie or not carby veggie or whatever it was. I just ate whatever I felt like eating as far as vegetables go. I didn't care if they were canned. I didn't care if they were fresh. I didn't care if they were frozen. I mean, I just, whatever it was. Okay. So I just put salad, green beans, corn, carrots, potatoes. It did not matter. Right. At that time, I was just starting and I just filled up half my plate with veggies. And adding more veggies into your diet is really helpful for weight loss. And it has so many other benefits too, like so many other besides weight loss. So up your veggie intake consistently, and you're going to see greater results than just the numbers on the scale going down in your body. Okay, let's move on to tip number 3. So, this one is really simple, I think, but it's not always easy. And that is cutting out mindless snacking. You can stop doing this today, but it's going to take a little bit of effort, maybe a little bit more effort, even than the other two that I've discussed, because mindless snacking tends to come with mindless habits. And those mindless habits are the things that drive sometimes are mindless snacking. And we'll get into that in a minute. But I'm going to just take a minute and inventory, just do a little inventory. Where is it in your day that you snack the most? Okay. Just think about that for a second. So, like, is it in your car when you pick up the kids from school? Is it when you're bored or when you're just sitting around watching TV at night? I don't know. Is it when you're driving, like after you get your groceries on your way home on a trip? I don't know. So, when I did this exercise, I realized I was mindlessly snacking pretty stinking often. I had no idea. And when I say mindless, I'm just talking about snacking that happens without intending it to. Okay. It's that hand to mouth snacking, like I was sharing with you earlier, or eating just because something is available, not because you planned the snack or that you were even hungry. I was just eating to eat. I was eating because I was bored, or hey, I just got groceries in the car and I feel like I want to eat half a bag of Takis right now. Yeah, it was that serious. Like that serious. But to stop mindless eating, you have to do a little self evaluation. Okay. Do a little self evaluation before your next snack attack comes on. And you're going to know those times in your life. You probably already thought of them right away where you're routinely snacking for no real reason. When I did this, I discovered there was these key times when I wanted a snack. And the two biggest ones that came up for me first were in the car and when I was in front of the TV. So I got to a place where I was asking myself before I would eat a snack, not just regular meals when I knew I needed to eat because I was hungry, but I would start asking myself, like, why are you snacking right now? Are you even really hungry or are you just mindlessly eating here? Why? And it takes some time, but if you count to 5 and ask yourself that question, you're going to discover so much about why you go to food. Why are you snacking? I also ate because I was trying to self soothe and to numb out from the stress of my day. I was a really big emotional eater, really big emotional eater. And once I started practicing mindfulness and did that really good self evaluation, like asking myself that big why question before I would eat, I realized that I was eating to fill this void in my life that only God could fill. And the food only filled my belly, but it left me feeling so empty. And I realized that. So I was like, wow, I realized that was a big problem for me after taking time to ask myself, why? Why are you eating right now? Why are you going to food? Why are you mindlessly snacking? And if I was really hungry for real, like after I asked that question, then I made a mindful effort to eat foods that were better options than chips or M&Ms, okay? Like it was usually chips or popcorn for me. It wasn't usually like M&Ms, but that's a thing for some. So there we go. And sometimes that snacking came with a habit that I was doing as like a given, like watching TV. It was just a thing for me to have food with me after, a long day of work or a long day of being a mom. I could sit down in front of the TV and unwind, just me, the TV, and my snack. And it was just something I just naturally did. It just kind of came hand in hand. So to replace that habit, if I still wanted to sit in front of the TV and really wanted to snack, I could. I totally could. But I wouldn't go get a bag of chips. Instead, I would just get a bag of baby carrots or almonds. And like I didn't bring the whole bag into the living room with me either. I intentionally portioned find out what I wanted to have. And then I only ate that because even if I brought the whole bag of almonds in there with me, even though that was better than Doritos, I was still going to find that I was overeating because I wasn't paying attention. It was mindless, right? So sometimes I said no to snacking on anything though, and said no to TV because I knew that that wasn't going to make me feel better because I knew I needed to go grab my journal and pour out the pain that I was trying to eat like away on the pages of my journal so that I could heal from whatever it was I was dealing with and stop running to food to soothe that emotion. And it really didn't work anyway, right? Like, so going to the journal actually accomplished the healing. The food filled a void for a moment, but it just left me feeling empty. So that one, like I said, is it's simple, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily easy. So give yourself a break on that one. Starting that one it's a slow go. But let's go ahead and move on to the next tip. Okay, so the next tip is just focusing on smaller goals. This is the last one and the probably most important one, I think, honestly. I said water, but water is really important for a lot of reasons, but those are like physical things you can do. This is something that's a mental thing. I want you to start thinking a little bit differently, and this is something you can do right now. So instead of looking at my big 30-pound weight loss goal that I had first, I just took a step back. I put it to the side and I focused on smaller bite-sized goals instead of like the bigger picture. And these smaller bite-sized goals are called process goals. And I can do a whole different show on those. So if you want me to, just like type process in the comments below and I'll know, yes, they want to hear more about this. Great. But 30 pounds felt like such an overwhelming goal. So I had to start by focusing on like the smaller parts, or I would have just given up way before I even started. So my initial weight loss goal was only 2 pounds a week. I knew I wanted to lose 30 pounds, but I had to put that to the side. So I was focusing only on 2 pounds a week. And I knew that I would get there by taking it only one day at a time, doing only 2 or 3 things consistently at first until I knew I was doing those consistent and then I could take on more. So, for example, I had the 2 pound a week weight loss goal, and each day I had 3 goals to hit. Okay. These were things that I wanted to be those long term healthy habits. So the first one was drink 90 ounces of water a day, which is still my daily goal years later. The second thing was to eat 4 servings of veggies. And the third thing was to intentionally move my body for 30 minutes a day using free workouts on YouTube. I had to be very specific about how I was going to move my body, where I was going to find that workout, how long I was going to do that every single day or 3 days a week. You have to kind of be really intentional with that. But I did those 3 things consistently every single day until it became a routine. And only after it became a routine, then I added in more things that I wanted to improve upon in my life. Because if you do everything at once, it's overwhelming and you end up failing, quitting, and it beats you up, like it beats you down, beats you up and down. It's no fun. So trying to do everything all at once is crazy hard. And it normally leads to failure because total life overhauls are extreme. And y'all know I have taught you this over and over because I have lived it. Is terrible. It's no fun. Extreme things are not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. So, extreme things are not sustainable. You may need to start with implementing one new healthy habit, just one. Maybe 3 is too many into your day. And then just do that for a week or two before you add in a second one. It just depends on where you are. Okay. Everyone is really different here. But the one thing that I want you to keep in mind as you go through this is just to give yourself grace in the process and the time that it takes to actually shift those old habits and create those new ones. It takes time. So give yourself the grace and the space to be able to do it. And don't forget to celebrate those small victories too. Like there are things that you're accomplishing. Take time to celebrate them. Celebrate every single one here, you guys. It's so important. It doesn't matter how small you might think it is. I want you to celebrate it. I want you to write it down. I want you to tell someone about it because you've accomplished it. So give yourself credit for it. Even if you just, hey, I drank my 90 ounces or whatever it is for you. Go on social media and say, like, hey, y'all, I did it. And who cares if only 3 people see it? Just put it out there and celebrate it. I guarantee you somebody's going to want to celebrate with you. I will. If you want to just reach out to me on social media, tag me in your posts. I will totally celebrate you. Okay. Focusing on those smaller goals gives me the drive still to this day to keep going because I can have those little wins along the way. It's not this big goal at the end that I won't have any like celebration day until I accomplish. I can't live that way. So if you want to keep going and you want to accomplish whatever your big major goal is, put together a small little plan for process goals to get you there along the way. Make sure that they work for your life so that you can create what's called formations to make those habits sustainable and to stick around. And again, I'm going to do another whole show for you guys on creating consistency in habits and formations. And hey, if you guys have not already registered for the 4-day weight loss mindset reset challenge that's happening inside of my free Facebook group. I want you guys to go ahead and register for that. It's just for Christian women who are on a weight loss journey, who are tired of struggling with diets that fail and doing fad diets and you've tried all the things. Okay. I want you to come and I want you to be part of this 4-day challenge because we're going to really address and dive really deep into like 4 specific areas we're going to walk through. And one of those is goal creating and habit formations and really learning how to stay consistent on what your healthy eating plan is, whatever that one is that you choose. Okay. So I don't advocate for any specific diet or any diet pills or anything like that. But whatever it is you're doing that you want to do consistently, you need the right mindset for it so that you can set yourself up for success. So make sure you register for that. The link is going to be below in the show notes. It's going to be in the comments. So you guys can find that whichever platform you're catching this information on. So before we go today, I want you to think about and even write this down. What is one thing that you want to do for your health this week that I talked about that you can start today? What is just one thing that you can start implementing? Write it down, put it where you can see it because that's really important and get started right away. Just get started right now, today, even if it's halfway through your day. Just pick one thing and say, I'm going to work towards that one thing today. And then tomorrow, here's what I'm going to do. But those are the things that helped me and that still help me today to go back to the basics, to build my foundation on so that I can start really building a house that's going to stand in the transformation of my health, on the transformation of this journey. All right, congratulations. You guys made it to the end. I'm so proud of you for sticking in there. I know this was a lengthy video, but I'm really proud of you for sticking it out. And I know that this is going to be so powerful for you. But if you liked today's video, if you love content like this, I want to invite you to give this video a quick thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. So when you do that, you are helping me get this information out to others who might benefit from it as well. If you're like me and you love listening to podcasts, I want you to check the link below for this episode that you can listen to on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. But that's it for now, you guys. I cannot wait to see you here again next time.